Hey, welcome everyone. Compelling Church family and friends. Welcome to another Thursday night with me. I'm so excited that you are joining me and that you are following along every week as we go through the book in Vitality. So just in case you are not up to date with what we are doing, Compelling Church's Pastor Adam Hershey, wrote the book in Vitality. The Lord put a message of easy evangelism to invite people into your life, invite people into the church, and invite people to Christ. And it's a great message. It's a great book. And so we have been going through it every week. And this week we are on chapter 6. Preach what Jesus preached, and this book has been great. So if you have not gotten a copy, there's a couple ways you can get it. You can get it online. I will have to post the link as soon as I get done with the video. So you can get it online, and then if you're in the area, we do have plenty of copies at Compelling Church. You can come pick one up on Sunday morning as you join us. Right now, Compelling Church is meeting at Hotel Ronalvo at 10 a.m. on Sunday mornings, and we would absolutely love for you to join us. It's been great. We're growing. There's been amazing people coming to the church, and it's been seriously amazing journey. And we are in the Des Moines area, so come out and join us. And I want to just touch on a couple things. I want to make sure I'm following my notes, but we are doing another Koinonia night. So Compelling Church has been doing like fellowships every other Wednesday night. They've been wonderful. Most of the time we've just had food with them and then just had time of fellowship with one another. Sometimes Pastor Adam has a little word for us. So the next one is March 3rd, and we would absolutely love for you to join then too. If you're a little bit unsure about joining with us on Sunday, maybe a good starting point would be come join us on Wednesday night. It's more relaxed, it's great, it's an opportunity to meet more people, make connections with people, and so the location for that will be to determine, so stay up on our social media. Kind of mentioned last week that if you would like to be notified when we go live, you can actually change the settings on it. So just go to Compelling Church's Facebook page and go to the settings and then change the notifications, and you can change the notifications to know when we go live, so you can come join us on these awesome Thursday nights. And anytime one of the pastors jump on with a quick word or anything that we're posting, you can be notified right away. So if you haven't done that already, go ahead and take the time after this video to change the settings. So last week when we went through powerful prayer for people. We had an awesome guest, Ben Wertzer, share a testimony, and we challenge you guys to set time aside every day this week to pray specifically for laborers and for open doors and opportunities to share. So I'm just curious how that go. If you get a chance, write in the comments how that went. Was there any opportunities that came across your path this week? I will say I didn't do it every week, but I kind of picked that on my way to work that I would turn off my music and just dedicate at least 5 minutes to just praying for that. And I actually was pretty intentional about it a few times. So I'm just curious how that all worked out for you guys. How did your guys' week go? If there was any awesome testimonies of God just opening doors for you to talk to somebody about and share your faith with them, I would love to hear it. So this week we are going through chapter 6, and it is Preach What Jesus Preached. And honestly, if you have not gotten the book and start reading it, read it. This book is changing my outlook so much, and just having a heart for people and the lost, and really freeing my mind up about sharing Jesus with people. So if you are in the same boat as I was, I truly encourage you to get this book and start reading it. It just stirs your heart up for people. And this week has been just such an eye-opening chapter. So I'm just going to touch on a few things that are mentioned in this chapter this week. So this week, in Preach What Jesus Preached, he really starts out, Pastor Adam starts out in this chapter saying that, like, reminding us that we're all called to preach, and every believer. And that might be scary at first to, like, if once you think about it, because you're like, I'm not a preacher, because what we think preaching is, but really preaching just means to declare or proclaim something. And we are all called to do that. It says in the Bible that we are all, the mandate is to go into the world and preach the gospel. So everybody is called to preach. You might not be a pastor or a teacher, an evangelist or an apostle, but we are all called as believers to preach the gospel. So he uses a really cool example of like a chef. So a chef is like their specialty is to cook, right? But so you might not be a chef, but you do still have to cook for your family, right? So you still have to cook at some level, your sphere of influence, but you might not be on the scale of a chef. You might not be creating creations that chefs do or to the masses, like, so similar to an evangelist. So it's okay that you're not called to be an evangelist, an apostle, or a preacher, or a teacher. You are called to be a preacher, or a teacher. So you can take the pressure off of you, and you don't have to feel like you have to teach people the word, right? But just proclaim your faith, proclaim the gospel of God, the kingdom of God. And that's what we're talking about this week. So I thought that was a really neat example. So go back into the chapter and read it. Let the words really saturate in your heart, and just open your eyes up for having a heart of just proclaiming the kingdom of God. Okay, so yeah, preach means to declare or proclaim, so you can, like, take the pressure off. Like, I know sometimes when you think about, like, being open about talking about the gospel, for me, I start to think, like, what if I don't say it right? Or if I don't explain it the right way? Well, I will say in this chapter, Pastor Adam brings it, like, kind of explains it in a really simple way. So if you are looking for a better way to, like, explain it, this would be a great chapter to read over. But quite simply, it's just preaching the gospel of the kingdom of God and Jesus Christ. And it's that simple. And it's really good. Actually, he quotes in this chapter a conversation he had with an atheist, and this really, really stood out to me. So this atheist told him that he did not respect anyone who claims to be a Christian and didn't tell anybody about it. Because if they truly did believe that there is a heaven or a hell and didn't tell anybody about it, it's like watching somebody standing out in the street and a diesel truck's coming by and they're clearly about to get hit and nobody says anything to them. And I thought, like, when I read that quote, like, that really hit me. Like, that's so true. Like, there's so many Christians out there, we're not saying anything. And are we truly, like, what's the point of being a Christian, saying we're a Christian, if we're not willing to at least share what we believe in? So it was really encouraging chapter. I really encourage you to go read it. It's seriously really ignites your heart for just being free about sharing your faith with anybody. So great. So preach what Jesus preached. And that's kind of what he goes into. That title is, if you want results like Jesus reached a ton of people, right? On his short, he was like in a short time of his missions, he reached a lot of people, and it's as simple as just preaching what he preached. So if you need to spend time in the Word, ask the Lord to open up how to share the gospel, how to say it in a way that will help people understand it. Also, reading this book will give you some good ideas. So this week, what we're gonna do is I have 2 challenges. One challenge is to write down 3 creative ways and pray about this. Let the Lord show you give you some creative ideas, but write down 3 ways that you can share the gospel in a creative way. And then the second challenge is to actually be open and take an opportunity to share the gospel this week with someone. That might be somebody in the grocery store, random, and I know this might mean that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, but it's gonna be okay. There's blessings on it. You're graced to do it. Remember, we all have the mandate to go preach the gospel. So I truly have faith that you guys will do it. I see that we have a handful of people watching, and I hope that if you missed part of this, go back and watch the video and comment anything in the comment sections, any amazing testimonies that you guys have from this book. Again, like really, I truly encourage you to read this book for yourself. These are just very short clips to go over some of the key points on each chapter, but man, this book is going to change your life, and it's going to encourage you to share the goodness of God, because he is so good, and we don't want to keep that for ourselves. We want everybody to experience how good God is and how good life truly can be, right? So Compelling Church, our heart is to empower people to live their life, an empowered life. So thank you guys so much for joining. This has been such a fun week. I see all the people popping up, and hopefully we will have some more people joining us. I really did enjoy having my brother on last week sharing some things, so hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll have some more guests coming on and we'll have a great time. So thank you so much for your time and joining us this evening. I've had so much fun. So go get the book and read the chapter, and don't forget the 2 challenges that I gave you, and I will check back in with you guys next week. Okay, have a great evening.